Hello everyone and welcome back to more Spoopy Time in the Letter. We are back and starting on Ashton's point of view this time. Oh my god, because in the last episode we finished off on Rebecca's point of view. Basically what happened was what happened? Jesus, I don't know. Wait, is it the housewarming party? Is that it? Okay, I think it's the housewarming, yes. So Rebecca went to the housewarming with Ashton, I think. Or no, Isabella came back from wherever the hell she went, arguing with Ashton because she went off to do something really super dangerous that has something to do with the missing BRC employees. And then when she got up to Rebecca's flat flat apartment, and Rebecca's like, hey, what the hell are you guys arguing about, kind of thing. Isabella was arguing and saying how this isn't just a coincidence, this isn't just some sort of murderer going around killing people, and Ashton's just chill, Isabella oh my god, why are you going on about that letter thing again, because you know that thing's old, you know, what do you logical explanations basically that would explain the situation that they are in. But no, Rebecca kind of jumps in, was like, hey, I think Isabella is onto something because I might have seen the lady, I might have seen her around, and you know, it's starting to freak me out too. So Ashton is in disbelief of us. Isabella feels sorry that she dragged us all into this mess, but it's not exactly her fault. No, I don't think so. Anyways, she runs off somewhere. Ashton was like, no worry, I'll go get her back or some shit like that. But it's just he was just kind of low-key disappointed in us. He was like, why would you put more ideas into her head like that? And we're like, no, but it's the truth though. So yeah, so we left off to the housewarming party then with Ashton. We hung around, we met and talked to Hannah, like we saw in Hannah's point of view. And then we the whole incident with the pregnancy thing happened, and we saw with Hannah's point of view again, except Rebecca is just all she was basically salty about the fact that Ashton wasn't even giving her any time to just chat during the whole entire evening. He was off running around doing something, but we all know he's probably working on the case that involved Luke. So he didn't give a time of day to Rebecca. She got low-key mad about that, and then afterwards when she was going to leave because he disappeared off somewhere, she runs into Luke after the whole pregnancy incident with Rochelle, and she kind of had a talk with him and was like, hey, maybe you should be with your wife by now. And then he was like, well, I'll work something out later because, you know, she's super mad at me and I don't think she wants to see me right now. But yeah, Rebecca sees and tries to help because she knows that Luke is more than his, you know, his douchebag kind of persona. But before she goes to leave Luke to himself, she turns back around and she sees the ghost lady just hanging around off his shoulder. So where she freaks out, runs out, but then as she runs out in her panic, she was like, man, I gotta go back and I gotta tell him, you know, they don't deserve what's gonna come to them. But before she could go back to warn him, Ashton was there. He shows up, he's like, where have you been all night? And then we got mad at him because where have you been all night? Because it's true, because we haven't seen him at all during the whole evening. So Rebecca gets mad. Rebecca gets mad at Ashton. Ashton tries to explain to Rebecca that there's something going on with Luke and that she should probably stay away from him. But of course Rebecca is super, you know, mad, and she's not having any of it, and she was just like, you know, I don't care what the reason is or whatever the hell, you can tell me once we get back or tomorrow or some shit like that. It's just right now I'm just too tired to deal with it and I want to go home. So yeah, Ashton drives her back to her place. She offers her apartment to Ashton to stay for the night because he lives really far away. And then she goes to make a call to Andrew. Andrew was his name? Yes, Andrew. Yes, Andrew, because she wanted access to the restricted section of the library, and Andrew was the only person who could give her the pass. So she gets the pass from him. There's some sort of underlying animosity with Andrew and the Wrights couple because he was like, ugh, the Wrights couple, oh, they're so oh my god, kind of things. But Rebecca didn't really look too much into it. She goes to the restricted section of the library, finds articles that dates way back in when the Ermengarde was first built, and then looked through the history of the family, and then saw a couple articles about how there was a witch trial, and then how Lady Charlotte Ermengarde was rescued a slave, but then ultimately she ended up burning the slave at the stake because everybody thought she was a witch, and apparently it was Charlotte's fault too, that made her seem that way. We don't know if it's true or not, but anyways, regardless, Rebecca was like, this can't be the same person that's haunting us, right? Like this, you know, that's if, like I need to know, like I need a better picture than this kind of thing. So she was onto that, and then afterwards she was onto the article about Luke and Charlotte, not Luke, god damn it, Edward and Charlotte getting engaged, and then she noticed that Edward looked really eerily like Luke, and then so she printed a copy of that article, was about to leave, but then of course Ghost Lady shows up, traps her in the corner, but then of course Rebecca, being the Spitfire, was like, come at me bro, like I'm gonna throw some hands at you, I don't care if you're a demon or not. And so she throws a book at that lady, makes a run for it, tries to escape, but then was caught momentarily by the lady, was about to get strangled, and then before she like whips out another book and just like smacks her with it. I love it. Smacks some of that knowledge to the ghost lady, and then that's when Rebecca actually makes her escape from the library. She's panting, she's you know, she's traumatized at that point. She's like, oh my god, kind of thing. Like, I'm safe, but you know, but it's far from over, kind of thing. And then she immediately, soon afterwards, she gets a voicemail from Ashton saying that they need to meet up ASAP, and to like, you know, we need to meet up and, you know, talk business kind of thing. Like, he sounds super serious over the phone, and that's where we had last ended off on. And now we start on Ashton's point of view. So yes, of course, as usual, we have new profiles to read up on, and it's Ashton this time. Yay! Ash Ketchum from Paddington. No, Ash Frey. So he is 29 years old. Okay, so he's older than Isabella, but younger than... No, around the same age. Yeah, same age as Rebecca. Yeah, I was like, I remembered it was something like that. So, he's a detective inspector. He's American Japanese, Christian, non-practicing though. Bachelor's degree in forensic science. Likes taiyaki ice cream. Shirley, which is his car. Ophelia, which I assume is his motorcycle. I don't know. Old-timey action movies and thrillers. Kart racing, jazz and swing. Sherlock Holmes, and justice. Justice! So there was little love between his parents, and though he grew up privileged, he found little joy in student life. He saw the standard testing system as a chore and considers his popularity among his peers to be an annoyance. Rebecca was the only one he considered a friend at St. Goretti, and he was no better when he went into university. If anything, his indifferent outlook got worse with his parents' divorce. Oh, okay, so he initially took law, but was quickly disillusioned by how heavy-handed and abused the system was. Forensic science, on the other hand, became fascinating for him, so he served a brief time as a police officer before he applied to join Luxborn's criminal investigation department. Early on, he was too eager to deal out justice, but his numerous years in service became quite the learning experience for him. Now, as a detective inspector, he's been assigned to his biggest case yet, which I think it's the string of murders, yes. Anyway, so let's get started. Are we back here where parties have never been really my thing? Is this the housewarming? No, can't be. Or is it the open house? I think it's the open house, maybe. They're always such a hassle. Takes so much time off of my day, prior plans and commitment cancelled, all for the sake of playing along with others. Yes, I get you too. But anyways, I need to tone down. I need to change this up. So yeah. So apply. There you go.
Welcome everyone.
Oh shit, no, this is the housewarming. Damn. Okay, wow. Okay, that's great then, because we don't have to skip all the way back and then go through a lot of other stuff. I hated them even as a child. Yes.
Please make yourselves at home.
Yes. So now we actually jump right into what the hell Ashton was doing throughout the entire time during the housewarming. Damn. Okay, cool. But Mom often insisted she'd slick my hair back, put me in one of those stuffy dinner jackets, and if there were any children around, urged me to make friends. Yeah. Oh my god, my parents are like the same thing in a way, where it's like even now they're like, hey, you know, there's gonna be so-and-so's kids over there and they're the same age as you. Why don't you go over there and make friends? I'm like, no. I don't need to make more friends. I can hardly keep track of the 5 that I have. Never mind how utterly loud or tedious it was all for the sake of keeping up appearances. To some extent, lies have already surrounded me long before I've chosen what I wanted to do with my life. Yes, oh, the corrupted system of society. Luckily, there were easy ways to tune everything out, and much to my mom's frustration, I always managed to sneak my CD player along. Nice. I kept to myself and to my music had my own little world. Until I learned to observe. Yeah, people watch. I like people watching. It's interesting. It's a simple matter of awareness, really. And for someone with keen eyes, a skewed necktie or a simple flick of our wrist alone could tell volumes about a person. I still don't like parties. Yeah. Especially ones as big and fancy as Wright's housewarming. However, when there's actual reason to go to them, I figure they're not too bad. Be careful with Shirley, okay? Alright? Yes, Shirley. Besides, like it or not, it's all part of the job. I'm here on a mission. Yes, he's a man on a mission. One that has the name Luke Wright plastered all over it. Yeah, we figured. You'd think the man would want to remain inconspicuous after his name was linked to several high-profile crimes across Luxborn. Really? Damn. Like what? Granted, most of it have gone cold over the years, having stagnated without any lead or evidence, but that still doesn't make him any less suspect. Yet here he is, throwing a party in his own backyard. It was a very big backyard, so like I don't blame him. Although, having observed the man this past year, I'm not even shocked. He craves it, the damn spotlight, constantly yearns for attention like a neglected puppy. It doesn't take a genius to figure out why he's nowhere to be found in his own party. Why? But that's not the problem here, okay? What pisses me off is how far his reach extends, how close he has creeped into the lives of people I care about. Yes. Again, like a stubborn itch you couldn't get rid of. First, Professor Clark. Oh. Then there's Isabella. I also spotted Z-Man here a while ago, and now, Rebecca? Yeah. Yes. And now there's also Rebecca, yes.
Can't you at least act with a bit more shame?
No. Becca, if I find a single scratch on Shirley, there will be hell to pay, yes. There will also be hell to pay if he so much as harms a hair on either Zach's or Rebecca's heads, yes. What about Isabella? Yeah, worrying about Isabella's brief dealings with him is stressing in itself already, yes. I doubt he'll attempt anything in front of other people, though. It would tarnish his glorious reputation, and he values appearances more than anything, yes. That doesn't necessarily mean he isn't capable of it, more than, in fact, and on the off chance he does something, I wouldn't be responsible for my actions. Are you gonna whip out a gun? Do you have like a concealed weapon on you, Ashton?
Those guys know what they're doing. They're handling cars worth more than your precious Shirley.
Yes. For Zachary's and Rebecca's sake, however, I really hope this will simply be another housewarming party. Hopefully, even though something tells me it's anything but. Yes, we got the whole drama thing going on. Call it a detective's intuition or whatever. When Luke Wright's involved, nothing good has ever come out of it. I can't let my guard down here. Yes. Even more so when a familiar car slows to a stop and out comes Chief Lee, I think his name was. Yeah. Yes, Chief? Yes. My presence here might be odd at best, but I have an excuse, one that this man handed to me himself a year ago, along with a heavy dose of flattery for the newly promoted detective inspector. I can't exactly say the same for my good old boss, can I? Although to see him here chatting it up with Luxborn's rich and famous isn't such a big surprise in itself. No disrespect meant, but the guy is obviously a social climber. Yeah, obviously a social climber. What is surprising is the fact that he seems all too eager to mingle with a person of interest, but a person of interest's wife. Yes. Just what the hell is he doing here?
Ashton, what's...
Well, his wife is besties with Hannah. Well, used to be now, but like, yeah. Sorry, Becca, I just saw someone I need to catch up with. Longtime friend. Not really. What the shit is going on here?
Oh, wait, Ash, what about...
Hold on. This won't be long. Be careful while I'm gone, okay?
Yes. Hey, be careful! About what exact...
Nope. Sorry, Rebecca. Gotta go. Gotta blast. I don't want to draw attention to myself either, at least not until he's given me proper reason to spoil his little party.
Thank you for the invite, Anna.
Yes.
Husband still missing, I see?
Yes.
I should be saying the same of your darling Rochelle, Lee.
Uh-huh.
The doctors again?
Yes. For now, the best I can do is wait and remain inconspicuous, especially with Chief here, whose motives are dubious at best. Yes. If it means having to pretend I don't know Zach and Rebecca, or forcing myself to rub elbows with people I barely know, let alone like, then so be it. I can't involve anyone. Wandering is out of the question as well when there are guards in civvies stationed here and there. Oh, okay. Sure, getting past them is something I could do with ease, but I'd rather not right now. When I'm one of the few snooping and roaming about, it'd be best to try and to do so once there's a crowd of people. Which is exactly what what he was doing. And if their interior designer's drunken claims are to be believed.
Yes, well, what about Luke?
What about Luke?
Should we file a missing persons report now, or do you want to wait 24 hours?
My god.
He's around.
Yeah, he'll show up, don't worry.
You know, I can tell if someone's bluffing.
Uh-huh. It'll all come down to how well I'll play my cards tonight. With a good hand, this party is going to give me the breakthrough I need to crack Luke Wright, or something to prove my suspicions wrong. Maybe find out what kind of game my boss is also playing. I've had an inkling before, a few hunches tempered down by how much of a bumbling fool the man appears. But one does not simply deal with the Wrights and get invited to a party they host without wanting anything from either of the two. Yes, or it's the other way around. So with a last wary glance at the two, I head into the ballroom. Okay. I just hope this will not complicate things further. Oh, it will. Shit. Shit, what? By the time the party's in full swing, night has fallen, yet there still isn't a Luke Wright in sight. Don't worry, he'll show up. He likes to be fashionably late. The man can be quite ostentatious. I was on the right track. Ostentatious? Yes. But this, frankly, I'm impressed. I don't even know how many hors d'oeuvres I've already stuffed my face with, but they look really good, though. One too many, probably. The servers are already giving me a stink eye every time I saunter over the buffet table. Hey now. Blame your employer, not me. He's the one who has the guts to show up late. Besides, most of the guests' idle talk is concentrated in this area. Despite standing in the same roof with the very people they're whispering about, some just couldn't resist. Yeah. They don't give a shit. I might as well keep an ear out for any useful info.
Is Suarez still fixing that tech problem?
What tech problem?
Tech problem?
What tech problem?
It's been 3 years. Sooner or later, the blighter will put 2 and 2 together.
What? He might have already. If the red tape I'm being slammed with these past few months suggests anything. That or someone has been pulling the strings. I think so. I wouldn't be shocked. This case would not have gone this long if Scumbag didn't have a mule of some kind in the force.
Shush you, we all know Suarez just wants an out.
Oh, what?
I knew he was bad news the day the merger with Evans Incorporated happened.
Oh, what?
Fair. Glad I did not have to deal with that.
Oh, okay.
But keep it down, someone might hear. The wife especially.
Okay. This kind of negligence has always been an advantage, but sometimes I wish I could be smashed drunk while doing this. Having sharp ears also means you get to hear the most unsavory things. Who cheated on who this week, one person's motive for bashing someone's skull against a wall, or a father's excuse for burning his own daughter alive, those sort of stuff. Oh! Pleasant, yes, great stuff. After a few years, it gets tiring, you get desensitized to it, yeah. I can imagine. But humans could also be downright awful. Sometimes there simply isn't enough brain bleach in the world. Yeah, you got that right. Sadly, the wine is a no-go tonight, and mostly for show. I'm up for another drive later for one, and I definitely want to be sober in case anything comes up. Yes, and something always comes up in assignments like this. A detective inspector dying of cardiac arrest, for example. What? Because I can feel the moment my heart grinds to a halt the second I shift my eyes to a corner of the ballroom. Oh yes, Hannah Wright. Yes. Some will say I'm acting a touch bit paranoid, and maybe I am. This is a party and she's the hostess. It goes to say that she'd take time to mingle with our guests. But Hannah Wright, née Evans, isn't without her fair share of acolytes. At least to the public, she doesn't seem like it. Unlike her husband, she's the one with the business sense, not to mention the impressive track record needed to manage a company. Yes. Or effectively hide whatever irregularity there might be. Ooh. I don't think she's clean as far as my agents and I have found, but it doesn't rule out a possible involvement with whatever her husband's up to. No, I don't think so. We already got Hannah's point of view, and she seems totally clueless as to what's happening exactly. We still don't even know what's happening. Hell, Luke Wright came out clean in previous reports until I bothered to take a deeper look into it. What I found may not be sufficient to bring anyone to trial yet, but it's enough to nurture suspicion. This may be a bit of an overreaction, but no one lasts long in my line of work by being careless.
You would catch his eye a lot better if you wore nicer clothes, don't you think?
Uh-huh.
Didn't realize the housewarming was going to be this fancy. I would have gone with a nice dress if I knew.
Yes. Nothing to be worried about then. She's probably even more careful with appearances than her own husband, having grown up with the spotlight focused on her. Yet even knowing that, the anxiety has been here since the party started. I brushed it off earlier, who wouldn't feel edgy, right? I've gone undercover in a party hosted by the very person I'm investigating. Okay. That in itself is risky and has plenty of rooms for error. Okay. Usually though the tension passes around the first half hour or so, I've been trained to remain composed in situations like this. However, with each second I spend, it only grows heavier and seeks to overwhelm. An odd feeling that someone is watching me instead. I always feel like somebody's watching me. It has been like this since last week, but I should already be used to this. But people would be looking at me no matter how small or big of a blip I am on their radar. That's what they do. That's what they do in these things, yeah. But when the feeling of eyes burning into my back lingers longer than necessary, I've been looking around every now and then to catch the culprit. No luck, because it's a ghost. It's Ghost Lady. I hear whispering. And despite my efforts to push the sensation as far down as I could, tiny pinpricks continue to sting at the back of my head, and the ghost of a cold touch creeps my limbs. Until my gaze switches back to Rebecca and Hannah Wright. Okay. Ooh, there you go! She stands there, dark-haired and dirty, sticking out like a sore thumb. Yes, there she is! There she comes! Even so, no one seems to notice. Although she's looking away from me, her mere existence here strikes. Disturbs. A sense of tunnel vision binds while I stand stock still and gape at her, like my life depends on making sure she stays where she is. There you go. So see, Ashton has seen some shit. Jesus. Oh yeah, and he sort of hinted at it. He was like, "Are you sure you're seeing things?" when he asked Rebecca before she made that call to Andrew, and she's like, "Yes." And he's like, "Oh." I feel trapped in her presence until another guest bumps into me, yanking me out of my stupor. Only then do I realize that I've been holding my breath. See, you see her too, Ashton. Before I could figure out what happened, she's gone. A quick scan of the room yields no sign of her. The party continues as if nothing's amiss. I'm not really one to judge, but I'm sure someone like that would have not been allowed in a fancy thing like this. What has the security been doing? Are they really that incompetent for someone so distinct to easily get in without notice? There should have been an outcry by now, particularly from the host. She's been standing almost an arm's length away from the woman, and yet she simply continues to talk with Rebecca.
Oh, the professor!
Yes.
And your little Becky!
Yes.
My parents couldn't make it since they're in Scotland right now. And Mom says hi, by the way.
Yes. Is there something in the food then that I'm starting to see things? It couldn't have been the wine though. I'm every bit as sober as when I first stepped out of my car. Yeah. The old divorce? Nope. But why would anyone want to do that? Why would Luke Wright want to do that? He's fishy, but I couldn't see why he'd ever think it'd be a good idea to lace the food he'd serve in his party with someone like Chief Lee on his guest list to boot. Yes. He has been linked to narcotics trade. Yep. However, that kind of tactic is below him. That much I could tell. Ooh, narcotics. Damn. Drug smuggling? Unless there's a mass murder waiting to happen here tonight, which I highly doubt. So, what the fuck was that? Well, you tell me, Ash. But there's no time to look deeper into this, even if I want to. Is Luke right here? Is Luke here? Yes. Not when a telling silence comes upon the room and draws everybody's attention to the main doors of the ballroom. There he is, about damn time.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Enjoying the party?
Yes.
I hope I'm not too late in welcoming you all to the Wright Mansion.
Yes. I've been tailing this guy for a while now. Before that, I heard stories from previous officers who tackled this case, none of which are pleasant. Mind, I'm not counting the incident with Professor Clark yet. Pleasant is glossing over the gravity of it, okay? While Wright's good at covering whatever shady stuff he's doing, he's shown to be a really rotten guy. At least that's the case when he thinks none of his peers are around to judge him. I've lost track of how many counts of verbal abuse and harassment cases the guy could be pinned with. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Standing in the same room as him doesn't make me want to punch him any less, yes. Actually, the urge is stronger, but protocols, my case first and foremost, my own opinion of the man shouldn't get ahead of my purpose here, yes. If I want to put him in his place, it should be in a court with all proper charges filed against him. And I'll openly be able to do that once I gather enough evidence to pin this bastard down.
Welcome, one and all, to our humble abode.
Yes.
Tonight, if you have yet to find yourself in your roles, you are our ladies and lords of the court of your king and queen. If you would excuse my presumptuousness.
Oh my god, okay, yes.
So, enjoy the feast that has been laid out for your senses as we only allowed the best to be served.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone!
Okay, clap, 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 yes. Suppressing my annoyance, I prepare to step away from the crowd. Amidst the cheers and claps, now is as good as a time as any to move, try to find that something the Macaulay woman talked about. In the first place, I have no plans to actually shake hands with the slime ball himself. A fake smile is plastered on my face while I pretend to listen to one of the other guests gossiping about him. All while slowly inching out of the ballroom. Yes, unfortunately, before I could get any further... What? Oh, yes,
Are you feeling ill, Rochelle? Perhaps you need to sit down and...
Rich people only have two ways to resolve their mess. Either they quietly deal with it behind closed doors, or announce it to the world. Or they create an even greater problem out of it, and it just blows up in everybody's faces one way or another. Fun.
No! Shut it, you monster! I ain't talking to you! I'm talking to this scumbag over here!
Yes, Luke.
You bloody bastard, standing there with your smarmy smile!
Not even a few seconds in, and this is already proving itself to be a big public spectacle. Why spend money on a television to buy daytime soap operas? You could just go to one of these parties and see the action unfold in real life. You get free food too. It's true. Really, if I were an actual guest, I'll just take this as some sordid form of amusement.
Watch your tongue! You're on thin ice, Rochelle. Where's your husband? Who even invited you?
Yeah, okay, let's just move along with this. We already know what happens. But I'm not a guest who's here for a good time. Yes, this is a good distraction. You can go to wherever the hell you need to go to, Ashton. I need to focus on him even through this whole sorry tale. So I wait, I listen, I observe. Oh, never mind. Okay. Interesting, isn't it though? That's the chief inspector's wife. Yeah. Indeed. Okay. What now? Oh, okay. So we skip. Okay. Oh, why? Okay, so this is the morning after. Alright. So the morning after starts off quiet. Okay. Even the whole of Salamwell Residences seems unusually still. The open hallway when I step out is devoid of tenants. No sounds coming from the other units either. Okay. Ah, this is when Rebecca went to go to the library to do her research and she got attacked. Yeah, because she let Ashton stay over. Yeah, so this is the morning after. Oh, okay. It's almost as if something's brewing on the horizon. Of course, because he just said. A peaceful night's sleep still does wonders for the mood, though. I can't even remember the last time I slept without anything urgent interrupting. Well, don't get used to it. It's a nice break from all the bad news lately. If it wasn't for the insistent buzzing in my pocket waking me up, I'd sleep in. I got confused with incessant and insistent, yes. The ringing has stopped before I could move somewhere private, but sleep has also been effectively kicked out of my system by then, yes. Pity, I could use a little more rest until I have to face the other storm. Of course, I owe Rebecca an explanation. It doesn't matter if it's the whole truth or another hastily spun tale. Although I haven't really figured out how to go about this yet. Oh my gosh, Ashton, please. Unlike Zach and Isabella, who don't usually ask questions and are content with what little I could share, Rebecca is rather quick on the trigger. Yes. It will have to be set aside for later, though. Okay.
Sup, I'm Ash from the City.
The chief's name stares back at me, almost as if it's mocking me. Sad. It would have been nice to just chill after last night, or maybe half listen to the news. Okay, just pick up the phone. Sure, it's the same thing we've been hearing lately. Still beats standing outside in the chilly Dutchborn morning on the phone with my boss. Sighing, I answered, if only to get this over with.
Where are you right now?
I'm at a friend's. Now that's a tone I didn't expect from him at this hour. Just thinking how this'll go already gives me a headache. Immediately, I reach up and pinch the bridge of my nose to stave it off. This is why I won't ever drink myself senseless, even though you wish. No! Nothing, Chief. A pleasant morning to you, too. He's probably calling to rag on me or complain about his wife, which is really none of my business unless it affects my case. It seems like the usual rich man cheats on wife deal. Yeah. The usual rich man cheats on wife deal. Although I would have followed up on it if it were somebody else's wife. But figuring it's the Chief's, hey, I trust him to come clean if the missus is related to the Wright's shady dealings. This is why I left before they even hauled the woman out last night. I'm not going to go around investigating cheating husbands and wives when it's probably just that. Chief appears to have a different idea in mind, though.
There's nothing pleasant in the morning.
Yeah, no, because you're hungover, your wife's cheated on you, and apparently you've been hearing ghostly cries of a woman.
Anyway, where are you?
I'm at a friend's.
I told you millions of times before to keep your lines open.
It is open. That's why I'm talking to you right now. And God, I just noticed your cracked screen. Ashton, just take care of your phone. He did, and not only him. Zach, Rebecca, Isabella, all of them have said the same thing numerous times in the past. But I was undercover last night. A phone call is the last thing I want to happen when there are other things I need to focus on at that time. Besides, we have radios and work-issued phones. Why isn't he using those channels if this is urgent? Just woke up, sir. As awesome as it is to hear your voice in the morning, it really is early. If you could give me a few minutes just to wake myself up, that'd be swell.
No need for that. This won't take long.
Okay. At least he can handle my sarcasm. Is something wrong? Am I needed at the precinct ASAP?
Oh no, everything's good over there.
Just what?
Look, kid. Pray. Don't take this personally, alright?
Oh, am I off the case? Is he gonna break the news to me that I'm off the case?
You're off the Luxembourg firm case. Starting today.
Yes. Well, I did not expect to hear that either. Yeah. This must be some kind of cosmic joke. I allow some awkward seconds to pass. Chief must be pulling another one of his awful pranks. Out of his bad mood or a severe hangover maybe, everyone knows that when given the chance, he exercises no control with his drinking. If it wasn't for his wife causing a stir, he'd probably be trashed an hour in at the party. He likely drank more after they threw her out of the ballroom. Yes, he did. Besides, his sense of humor has never been good. It's just infuriating most of the time. But when he doesn't follow it up, if I sound a tiny bit frustrated speaking to my own superior, I'm not the one to blame. Yes. Wait, no. What? Are you kidding, Chief? Is this one of your practical jokes again? The temps won't say anything about it, but
It's not that.
Yeah.
They're orders from the higher-ups.
Oh, damn. Ah, the higher-ups. Yes, my favorite word. Since when did the higher-ups ever care about what the Criminal Investigation Department did? As far as I could tell, they don't give a hoot if CID is filled with cold cases as long as we keep the spending low. When I need to view those old case files, though, they're locked away in the archives. You're gonna have to check with the higher-ups. I need access to these reports. See if the higher-ups would allow. I need access to these reports. See if the higher-ups would allow it. Okay, yeah. Wow, damn. Every step, every move. In this case, there isn't one that hasn't been gated by some authority. If it's not the chief, it's the commissioner, or so they always tell me. It makes one wonder why they even bothered assigning it to anyone. Not a single one of them has done anything to help move the case. And they wonder why it has taken this long for even a hint of a progress to show? Damn. That sucks. You can't just drop this on me. You can't just take me off like that. Yeah, off like that.
Yes, I can. And I'm sorry, Ashton.
Oh, man.
You're a good detective. One of the best I've seen in years, but...
But what? 3 years, Chief. 3 years. 3 years since that anonymous tech leak blew up. Since Luke Wright's name was openly linked to several nasty dealings within Luxborn's corporate world, some of them involving deaths. Oh, damn. 3 years and I was the only one who made it this far, made such progress that officers with more experience weren't able to do when they handled this case. Just within a year and with barely any help from the damn brass at that. Of course I'd be pissed, yeah. Do you know what would have happened if I didn't work my ass off on this thing? If I didn't dedicate a whole year of my time on it? It would have gone cold, like every fucking case Luke Wright has been linked to. I saved this from getting thrown into the archives, sir. I'm getting close. If you could just...
I'm fully aware of what you've done, Frey. But the Commissioner hasn't been happy with your progress.
What? Why?
Still too slow by their standards.
What? Too slow? I'm mad now. Well, what about those reports I filed? I've documented every freaking thing for them. I've even given you every important lead I can gather. Isn't that enough? Nope.
They need results, not a bunch of research papers. Not one baseless assumption after another. Concrete proof, Frey.
Damn.
I'm really sorry. They've already made a decision. They're going to pass this on to someone who's been in the force longer. Someone who has more experience.
Who has more experience then? What the hell? Someone who has more experience?
I meant nothing by it, but you're still too young to work on a case this big.
Oh my gosh. Chief, I've already done more than what Chief, I've already done more than what those old farts ever did behind their desk. All of it within just a year of being assigned to this.
Watch your language, Frey. Those are your superiors,
I don't care. I'm not some damn rookie fresh out of training. I'm as qualified as they are. Futile, I know it is. They'd never say it within my earshot, but from the very minute I stepped in their precinct, the lot of them had underestimated me, from their stares alone to the assignments I get. To them, I'm still just a kid, too young, too green, too inexperienced. And once they pulled that card on me, every argument I have gets thrown out the window. No matter how logical it is, how much I've accomplished, what the records say, or the amount of work I've put in every investigation they've thrown my way.
We're all aware of your skills, kid. You wouldn't have that badge and rank if you weren't good enough.
Okay.
However, this case is just not for you. Too high profile, too risky to put a good officer like you in harm's way.
Can he even hear himself? That reasoning is odd in itself. No one joins this line of work without knowing the dangers of it. Don't I get a second chance? You said it yourself. I'm a good detective. It'll just be a matter of time before we can close this.
It doesn't matter what I think, Frey. You're off the case, and that's final.
Oh my god.
I expect all related files and documents on my desk by Monday morning.
Okay, well this is how we get let off the case.
And don't even try to go touch anything. I know how hard-headed and determined you are.
Well, too bad. Chief, please, a few more weeks. I'll have the proper evidence left on your desk by then. I swear it won't take longer than that.
Fred, it's too late, boy. I've already informed the other officers. You aren't to be allowed access until you've been given a new assignment.
What?
Hell, just keep out of the precinct, Frey. Take the weekend off.
Nope. Seriously, Chief, is this about last night? If this is about me being at the party, I have a good reason for it.
You were at the party.
Oh, no. What party? I wasn't at the party. No, never mind. It makes me pause. His wary tone, the sudden careful note in his voice. Slowly a frown forms in my face, my eyebrows knitting together in confusion. Much as I hate to say this about my own boss, there's also suspicion in it. Hard not to think of it that way, seeing how he acted around Hannah Wright last night. Right. Is he worried? Why should he be? Everyone whose anyone was invited. I didn't doubt for a second why he received an invite, even if his presence was questionable. There's something wrong, and I've unintentionally walked into it. Yes. All I have is a sneaking suspicion, but when one looks at this from a different angle, put everything together. Why the hell I've been taken off the case might be for the same reason he was there in the first place. Fuck. Okay. Yes, Chief, I was, for a good reason. A friend invited me to go with her. What were you doing there? I know we don't have a strict rule against attending functions, but that was... He coughs and it almost sounds like he's choking on his own excuses, lies. Well, at least, yeah, Rebecca inviting us actually saved ourselves, because that was the legit, reason why we're there. Not like we were there on our own, agenda, even though we were kinda. But, we have a cover-up excuse. I don't want to accuse him of anything yet. He's someone I've respected since I joined LPD, even with his bizarre sense of humor and tendency to procrastinate. He's obviously competent enough to get the job done. He wouldn't be Chief Inspector of Luxbourne Police if he wasn't. He wouldn't last years in service without some track record backing him. Or, you know, unless that too is a fluke, and what's backing him is not something... Yeah. But someone. Yeah, it's not something but someone. Oh shit. Fucking hell. Fucking shit. Chief Harvey, about last night with the...
Why does it matter, Frey? This isn't about that.
What does it matter? Why does it matter? I'll recite the whole damn oath that we've taken upon being sworn into service if I can, but at this point it seems too late to remind him of that. He has probably already moved from serving and protecting people to serving and protecting his own interests. Yes. Damn it. I've suspected the upper brass of this, even the lower ranked subordinates in the force, but from my own boss? Yeah, shit. No wonder that leak didn't lead anywhere. Yeah. Someone closer might have been pulling the strings. I might have been set up to fail long before the fucking case has been assigned to me. But I don't want to just give up. But I don't want to just give this up. I don't want to believe I wasted an entire year for this. I don't want this to be the kind of news to tell Professor Clark after all those promises I've given the man. I just want to know, sir, at the party with Luke and Hannah Wright, you were...
Monday, Detective Inspector. First thing in the morning.
Yes, corruption all around, yay.
Every copy of the files you have, I want to see all on my table, understood?
Uh-huh. This isn't...
Frey, am I understood?
What else can I do other than smile and nod? With my own superior expecting an answer, using that tone, brushing my questions off as easy as discarding a dead body. Yes. Yes, sir. He cuts the line as soon as the words are out. Yeah. You're off the case, Frey. Just like that. Funny why this still caught me off guard. But like, yeah, now you understand the possibilities of why. So Ashton Frey received a phone call from the Chief of Luxbourne Police first thing in the morning, informing him that he has been taken off the Luxbourne firm case. Although his protest fell on deaf ears, this sudden turn of events proved a hunch. Yes. I've discovered years ago how different the actual thing is, how far from reality everything I believed in as a dreamy-eyed kid. There are no high-speed pursuits every day, no thrilling gunfights, or exciting cases every step of the way. Only paperwork, lots of red tape, and dealing with the politics and bureaucracy, yeah. I've set out to change things, hoping it'll make things better for the people I care about. It ended up changing me instead. Serves me right for being too idealistic, I guess. Yeah, This is probably the universe telling me that it's better to remain the skeptic I really am. And now, here I am, standing useless. I can't even do anything but grit my teeth and kick the wall. The bastard didn't even acknowledge my response. Yes.
What did the poor wall ever do to you?
Is it Rebecca or is it Isabella? It figures Rebecca would be the one to find me in this embarrassing state. Honestly, I don't like it when she sees me like this, which seems to happen a lot, regardless of what I want. Oh, you're back. Rebecca, now's not a good time. Or is this before she left? Yeah, maybe. The concern I expect from her when I turn isn't there, however. Instead, she just looks, well... The storm I was brewing last night, it's right there on her face, ready to be unleashed.
When is it ever a good time for you? You're always so busy with everything now.
Yes.
Now I find you here, sneaking out without even bothering with a proper goodbye. Not even a word.
Rebecca, it's not like that. I was taking a call.
Really, I'm starting to think you're just keeping me around for my couch and my cooking.
Becca, it's not what you're thinking. I wasn't planning on sneaking out. I was going to say goodbye. I just had to take this call. Yeah. Although, I'm not gonna lie, the couch is great. 10 out of 10. Would sleep again.
Stop it with the jokes, Ashton. I'm not in the mood.
Her bitterness is not lost on me, but at this point our friendship in our lives, how does she still expect me to answer that? What am I supposed to tell her now? Are you still mad about last night? Yes. She merely raises an eyebrow at me, which, to be honest, is all the response I need. Seeing her like this makes me believe those things Z-Man says, the part where Rebecca scares him sometimes. I've certainly seen this more than once already. But the familiarity of it doesn't really take away from the downhill turn this conversation is starting to take. Only an awkward cough serves as a way to stall. Okay, of course you're still mad. Yes. But whatever happened last night, I really am sorry. I'll apologize as many times as you want. If you want, I'd even kneel or something. But it's like, do you know why I'm mad at you? Kind of thing.
Ashton, an apology is nice and all, but that's not what I wanted to hear from you today.
Yes. Alright, fine, okay, where do you want to start?
Oh, I don't know. I've honestly lost track of it by your third trip to the buffet table.
Yes. The drive up there took a bit. Can you blame me if I wanted to grab some appetizers?
Oh, come on, Ash! For the whole evening? For the whole party?
She's so mad.
Please don't tell me that's all you did, because I've never known you as someone who pigs out.
Well, now you know. I can do it.
You even took great lengths to avoid me. Should I also mention how you ignored Zach?
Yeah, because I was on a case.
Sometimes I get the feeling you don't want to be seen with us in public. Some friendship, huh?
No, it's not like that at all, girl. You know it's not like that. You know it's not like that. It's never going to be like that, Becca.
Maybe you even just used me to get into the party.
That has some truth in it.
You said yes to being my +1, but you were rather excited to just peel yourself off, weren't you? Honestly, I'm feeling a bit used.
Sorry. I couldn't even look her in the eye. It wasn't that I lied to her. I honestly wanted to be there to keep Zach safe, to keep Rebecca safe. Just in case. Client or family friend, it was still a party hosted by a person of interest, by a man accused years ago of murdering a person's wife to get what he wanted. Really? Damn. But then Chief showed up, Hannah Wright happened, and Luke Wright just couldn't be bothered to die peacefully somewhere. All of a sudden, none of my original reasons mattered. If I was found out right then and there, hell, if Zach and Rebecca's connection with me was found out, who knows what might have happened. But Rebecca doesn't understand that, doesn't understand what I can and can't say to keep them from harm. It's all in her eyes, in the tight line of her lips and her furrowed brows. The hurt, yeah.
I'll ask this again. Just what were you up to during the party?
I was on a case.
What were you doing that you couldn't even take 2 seconds to make time for your friends?
This day is just off to a wonderful start, yes. First my case, now Becca, yeah. How do I even go about this? Insist it's confidential, stretch the truth. Can I stretch the truth? Like, I don't want to hide secrets from her. I'm trying to work with you, Becca. Like, it's honestly not like that. Obviously, I couldn't just say, hey, Becca, you know the Wrights? They are suspected to be ringleaders of a crime syndicate and shit like that. Protocol or otherwise, there are so many things I'm not allowed to tell the others. Even if I am able to share information with civilians, knowing anything could very well put them in danger. It's why I keep it vague, obscure the facts, and when push comes to shove, stretch the truth and lie through my teeth. Oh my gosh. It's a necessity I've grown to deal with. It has already become a part of me, no matter how much I loathe doing it. I mentioned it, didn't I? I saw an old friend and thought I'd catch up. Didn't really notice how long our chat got. You know what they say about time flying by when you're having fun, and Lloyd is the fun guy. She doesn't look convinced at all. Although she's the very picture of someone who's at least willing to listen, her glare effectively takes a good 20 off of my current years. I feel like a kid again, being reprimanded by my junior high teacher for sleeping in class. But getting away with that is easier than with this one. Yeah. It's the thing with someone you've been good friends with for so long. They're the ones who know you inside out. Good grades wouldn't be enough for Rebecca to let this whole thing slide.
So, this Lloyd is a friend of yours who was at the party?
Yes. Yes? Yeah, we go way back in the police academy, though you wouldn't have met him. See, he mostly deals with teenagers and gets into a lot of messy stuff and...
Cut the shite.
Yeah.
You're not a very good storyteller, Ash. Don't try to make up a character just so that you can lie to me.
Oh man, Ashton, this is what I meant when you wanted to stretch the truth. Why did I ever think this is a good idea? Although I'm not making those people up, only twisting the facts, for someone who's already angry beyond reason, everything will sound like an excuse. Yeah. I'm not making stuff up. I did have a college mate named Lloyd. I think you would have liked him. You're both Scottish. He used to hang out a lot with Joey and Rasid, but they went off to work in London. Okay. Bunch of good guys. I should really ask if they're swinging by Lux anytime soon.
That doesn't make things any better.
I know.
You were there because I invited you. And you just up and turned your nose from me.
I know, but Rebecca, for good reasons.
You might as well have disappeared completely for all you cared.
Oh my gosh.
Just say you don't want to talk about it instead of lying to my face.
Oh. I do feel guilty, still. We've already been down this road. This is something I've done so repeatedly in the past, something she's heard from me more times than all my fingers could count. Something I'll just have to get over with at this moment. I'm sorry, you know that, Becca. I really, really am. I wouldn't do this shit if I didn't have a good reason to.
And you know that I don't like you lying to me!
Did I, girl? Well, like, I don't know where my meter was in terms of, like, where, if it was, like, right at there or, like, right below it, or I don't even know. Like, Jesus, this is not going how I wanted it to go.
If you can't tell the truth, just don't say anything and shut your gob!
Oh my god.
I swear, Ashton Frey, you are just so dense!
I know I am.
I'm so angry. I can't even bear to look at you right now because I swear I'll knock you right off your block.
She's so mad. Don't yell at me. I'm sensitive.
I mean, what good reason could you have to act like an antisocial asshole?
A very good one. I'm in confidential business.
The only time you did talk to me was to spout some vague nonsense about Luke. What was that all about?
Oh yeah, can't you just tell her that now? Come on, Ash, you can still save yourself.
Were you somehow expecting me to just accept everything as it is?
Kind of. You really shouldn't go near that man, Becca.
Why? Because you don't trust him?
No, because he's, like, you know, connected to some pretty shady shit.
I wonder if you actually trust anyone.
I do.
Aside from the three of us, Zach, Isabella, and myself, do you even have any other friends?
No, not really.
If you're perfectly fine with that, then go ahead. No one is stopping you. But don't expect me to share the same views.
Okay.
I can have a life of my own. Friends that I don't necessarily share with you.
I know, but like, he's still pretty shady.
I'm an adult, Ashton, and I can make my own bloody decisions. I sure as hell can choose the people I want to let into my life.
Okay, whatever. Of course, she's allowed to do as she pleases. I never mentioned she couldn't. Us growing up together doesn't mean it always has to be just the two of us. It's a dumb idea to believe in when nothing ever remains constant. Things will inevitably change through the years. She'll make friends with people outside of our little circle. I'm just as free to form relationships with other people. Yeah. But why of all people did it have to be him? Why does it have to be Luke Wright? That guy is nothing but trouble. How can she defend a guy like that? She's already calling him Luke, for Pete's sake. I trust Zach, I trust Isabella, and I trust you, Rebecca. So why can't you trust me on this? You need to stay away from that man because he's... I really wish I could tell you. What was that saying Isabella mentioned before? A liar is a brother of a thief? People who will look at me now will probably say I'm a hair's breadth away from being a criminal. Z-Man said something like that once, a few years into our friendship. I laughed it off back then, but now? They're probably right. Little by little, I'm becoming the very kind of person I hate. How ironic. Ah. The silence afterwards brings an even heavier air between us. Something that Rebecca thankfully doesn't allow to linger more than necessary.
I suppose you have to go now, huh?
I guess. The situation's already awkward as it is. Dragging this out would only make it more... what? Difficult? Messed up? As if it isn't already, yeah.
Back to your case again?
No, I'm off the case, girl. I don't really have to. I have no case. As far as the job is concerned, I have the weekend off until I have to report to Chief on Monday. Although I don't want to just throw in the towel on this. And orders are orders. This isn't like the movies. I don't get to say fuck off, throw my gun and badge at him, because this isn't like the movies. I don't get to say fuck off, throw my gun and badge at him, become some vigilance, save the day and get my job back. I'd rather get my ass thrown in jail than do any of that. But it's also not in my nature to just sit still and do nothing. It'll drive me crazy if I just idle about. Besides, there's someone who has to know about this whole Luke Wright thing. Yeah, I need to go talk to the Professor Clark, and there's something else I need to look into. The other matter she mentioned last night, specifically. Things even the news has been blasting out to the general populace lately. Evening, afternoon, morning, all deaths with the same modus, blamed on a single serial killer. Or is it still the case? Yeah.
Found dead in the early hours of the morning today.
Yes.
The fire was contained in the room and no other tenants were harmed, according to Luxembourg police.
Yes, that. Yeah, we saw that. We're grasping at straws as far as these murderers are concerned. Yeah. In the first place, I'm not even the one heading this investigation, yet look at me treating as if it's another high-profile case on my shoulder. How sad is that? Although all three of my friends have mentioned seeing something strange, I don't want to go into that line of thinking for now. Not yet, not until I've exhausted every logical argument I could throw at it. To be honest though, I don't know how to take all of this anymore. But I've already given Isabella my word. It'd bother me more if I didn't follow up on the promise I made to her, yeah. And after Rebecca's claims last night, there won't be enough sarcasm in the world if what my friends have been telling me is true. Yes. I can already hear Isabella's laughter, in fact.
Figures. What else can it be?
Sorry. It's not another case, it's something else. That issue Isabella mentioned yesterday morning. I'm sure you remember. You were there, yeah.
Well, at least you're not neglecting all your friends.
Okay, Becca, stop being so salty to me. Becca, I promised her She doesn't wait for me to finish. Oh, with a roll of her eyes, she turns around and shuts the door in my face. I have no idea what I've said this time, but I probably deserve that. We'll just have to fix this some other time. By then, her temper is sure to have cooled off significantly. Damn. Man, Rebecca is scary when she's mad. Rebecca confronted Ashton about what happened at the party the night before. Unable to tell her any details, the latter chose to stretch the truth. It led to another argument and ended with Rebecca slamming the door closed on his face. On him. Well, yeah. But anyway, still, it's like, what would I have done? Would it make a difference if I said it was confidential? She would have been super mad because she's like, oh, that's what you always say. It's always confidential. I can't tell you, blah, blah, blah. No. Hopefully. Okay, off we go? No? Not yet? For now, I can't laze around. Gotta attend to things that matter more. Professor Clark first deliver the bad news, then that issue with BRC and Isabella. Maybe I'll also drop by Zach's, check on him, hear what he has to say. He also has read the damn letter. Yes, I might as well while I'm here playing a paranormal detective. Or was it supernatural? I can't remember. Paranormal, same thing. Whatever. It wouldn't hurt anyone if I tried to get to the bottom of this. Yes. If nothing comes out of this, good. Everyone can shut up about stupid curses, and we can finally get back on track with our lives, on to more important stuff. If there is something.
Are you two done?
Oh, Isabella, you were there. There's a moment of confusion when I don't see her familiar ponytail about, only to find her standing behind the door to her apartment seconds later. Isabella holds it open, though only slightly, as if to hide from anyone who might happen to pass by. This early and on a lazy weekend, I doubt anyone would. But from the gap and what little light there is behind her, I could make out the appearance of someone who has just clearly gotten off from bed. Hair in complete disarray, eyes still heavy with sleep, and a small pout on her lips. She hasn't even gotten out of her pajamas. Oh. I look away long before my sense of decorum kicks in. Yeah. Decorum? Yeah, kicks in. We might be friends. I'll even dare say we've gone closer over the years, but that doesn't extend beyond the bounds of propriety? Yeah, propriety. Christ, even Rebecca never greets early visitors in her sleep clothes. Though maybe it's our fault why she's up this early. Yeah, because we've been arguing and Rebecca's been yelling up a storm. Still, heat makes a slow crawl up my neck, one that I quickly downplay with a solid cough. Isabella, you're up early. Yeah. Lame.
No, I'm not. I'm usually up at this hour. You're the one that usually sucks at getting up early.
True. Says the person who looks like she's just fallen out of bed. Instead of the usual quip, she simply averts her gaze to some point beside her, and although it only flashes briefly across her face, an expression of hurt flickers in her eyes. It disappears the second she turns her attention back to me, but that moment has sent a worried twinge in my stomach. I've seen it on her plenty of times before, just never in a manner that unsettles. It feels, I don't know, off this time? I didn't say anything wrong, did I? Hey, are you...
Anyway, was that Becca with you?
Maybe she's been losing sleep because of this ghost lady. She's just traumatized to the bone.
You both sound like Mama and Papa when they fight. You're awfully loud.
Yes.
If we get another memo from the landlady, I'm asking the guard to ban you from ever entering this place.
Me? Becca's the one almost shouting, yeah.
Yeah, well, she lives here. You don't.
True.
You have no excuse. You're the suspicious-looking person.
Hey now. Thanks. Glad at least one person appreciates how I pretty up this place.
Don't flatter yourself. This place would be so much better without having to see your face every few days.
Ha! Ha! Thanks! She follows it up with another pout. But her ruffled appearance, particularly how puffy her eyes are, I noticed just now, takes away from the intimidating effect she's trying to show. Really, right now, she just looks more like an angry puppy. I might have laughed had it not given me another nagging sense that something is definitely wrong with her. Yeah, she's losing sleep. What? Has she been crying earlier? That is worrying. She rarely does that. The only time it happened, the one time I've ever seen her genuinely tear up over something, I think it was after Devlin Court, the night at the bridge. I want to ask. She seems determined to keep it to herself, though. Belle, did something...
About yesterday, Ash. The things we talked about. Do you think...
Do you think what?
Do you think we can take a look at it today?
Sure. Yes, that's my plan exactly. We? I never said you're coming with me. Don't worry, I didn't forget about it. You'll be the first to know if I find anything.
No, I want to go with you. I'll be ready in a few. This won't take long.
Right, because she wants to keep herself preoccupied just so that she won't be, like, left alone. Isabella, you really don't have to. I can handle it on my own. You'll just...
I won't get in the way, I promise. Besides, maybe I can help.
Yes.
You know, if there are files you want to check.
Uh-huh. I don't like what she's implying. It's true LPD's having a hard time with this, but taking Isabella with me, it's out of the question. Under normal circumstances, yes. You're the one who's going to get in trouble if you do that.
You said it yourself. You need information. And I can help you get that.
Yes, so you can get all the help you can get, Ashton. You're off the case anyways.
And it's not like it matters anymore. I just don't want to stand around doing nothing today.
Exactly. There it is again. The slight shift in her eyes, the mild crease forming between her eyebrows, and the mild slump in her shoulders while she crosses her arms tightly around herself. Like she's shielding herself from whatever painful thing that there is out here. I have plenty of reasons why I shouldn't let her tag along. First and foremost, she's a civilian. Second, I have no concrete plan of action yet. I'm going into this blind, yes, but no matter how I look at it, it's simply better for her to just wait so she won't get dragged into what might be another one of my failures. Her assumptions might be a dead end for all we know, but it's not. But seeing that expression on her, hearing her speak those words out loud in a desperate, almost pleading tone, I can't bring myself to say no. So I give in because right there I see myself in her. The person who doesn't want to stay idle, who doesn't want to think of the problems haunting him. All right, 5 minutes.
What? You're timing me?
Yes. Well, I can't wait forever. I'm a very busy guy. 4 minutes and 45 seconds, Isabella.
I hate you so much.
Just get to it then.
I'm taking back what I said last week. You haven't changed at all.
4 minutes and 30 seconds, 29, 28. I'd hurry if I were you.
Ugh, you're awful! I hope you never get a girlfriend.
She slams the door right after, although my chuckles, the mirth, and the lightness in it lingers. With her, those have always come easy somehow, even as its echoes fade and only the ghost of a smile remains. It's not like I'm looking for anyone else. Aww. I want to tell her. He has a crush on her! Oh my god! It's not because I can't. I won't. I'm the one who has chosen not to until I fixed myself, until I found myself underneath all that guilt and those lies I've been telling all these years. He has a crush on her. That's so cute. Okay, so disturbed by the ruckus outside her unit, Isabella reprimanded Ashton for the noise. The latter noted her disheveled appearance and puffy eyes, although before he could ask about it, she brought up the issue with BRC again and insisted that they both look into it that night. Okay. Alright, anyways, yeah. So because no matter how heavy the weight of these feelings are, I am not yet worthy of them. Of her. Until then, little words and gestures are the only things I can offer, minus stuff such as digging deeper into this thing with BRC in order to ease her worries. I'm not even sure if this will give us anything, unlike with the firm case, which I already have proper leads on. I'm just going by her word on this. Speaking of the Luxborn firm case, I still have to inform the professor. The apprehension's there for sure. I've made a lot of promises to the man, and I would have preferred to tell him in person, not over the phone. But it's better for him to hear from me rather than from a stranger. The railings offer a steady support while I wait for him to answer. I like to think I can do this without losing my nerve. My grip on the bars surely tightens though once the call connects.
Ashton.
Yes. Not running today, Professor? Yeah. He's usually at the park on late Saturday mornings as long as it isn't raining cats and dogs. Keeping him young and healthy, he says, and he's certainly fit for a man of his age with a sedentary job.
Oh no, not today.
Okay, why not? He's definitely at the usual place though. Cheers and laughter, likely from children and families, filter through the receiver. Okay. I tend to avoid the park precisely because of this. No use reminding myself of the could-haves when it's already over. Mom's doing well with her career. Dad's also fine the last time I visited. Although neither remarried, they're both content with their lives as it is. I'm probably the only one still caught up with it, hence my aversion. But all in all, it's still a pleasant sight to see if you're the kind who takes joy in such sights like Professor Clark does.
Just thought I'd enjoy the nice weather before it takes a turn for the norm again.
True, rainy.
And to what do I owe the pleasure?
I have bad news. The guy certainly seems happy right now. In any case, I almost don't want to break the news to him, right? But it's better to get this off quick. As long as he doesn't shoot the messenger. He's not the type. However, long-held resentment can change a person, even someone as mild-mannered as the professor. I was hoping to talk to you about the case. Yeah, I suppose I'm just the downer today. As soon as I say those words, he pauses and the lightness in his voice is gone in an instant. Every time we talked about this in the past, he does that. He's probably trying to gauge the situation based on the tone of my voice. Perhaps it's a good thing I'm delivering this news through the phone. Who knows what he'll see in my face and my mannerisms. The art of keen observation, I learned it from the man. He probably already has an idea what this might be about from my manner of speaking alone.
You aren't in trouble, are you?
No, not really. For a second I hesitate, looking at the dirt beneath my shoes. But I manage. Eventually, after a long, ragged draw of breath, I pick up where I've left off, though still fumbling with my words. I'm in a bit of trouble, if you can call it that.
Ashton.
Yeah, he only assumes that tone when there's a reprimand at its heels. But I'm not in danger or anything. Yeah, I'm not in danger.
You've said that same excuse a million times before, Detective Inspector.
Wait, what do you mean?
That exhausted rasp in your voice tells a different story.
Oh. It's nothing like you're thinking. Don't worry. I was taking out the Luxborn firm case. I expect anger, frustration, maybe even disappointment. But all he gives me is a small sigh of relief.
Is that so? Well, at least you aren't in danger.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Liz wouldn't be too happy if she heard you right now.
Oh, who's Liz? Elizabeth? Ooh, Liz. Aunt Liz. She insisted I call her his late wife. Oh! Is Professor Clark's wife the one that Luke supposedly murdered to get what he wanted? What the hell? That would have been that. Okay, if that's the case, that's pretty fucked up. I mean, damn, no wonder he has a vendetta against the Wrights couple. Jesus, you have every right, sir. Aunt Liz, she insisted I call her his late wife. Yeah, a sweet-tempered woman by so many standards. They were never blessed with kids and contented herself with simply managing their bakery. But she's the closest I had to a mom in a few years I had known her, the professor too. In the absence of my own parents in my life, the two filled the ache their divorce left in me.
Believe me, you'd get an earful.
Or no, wait. Late wife? Yeah, that means she's dead, right?
You don't want to show up on her doorstep looking like you haven't slept a wink either.
Wait, late wife? Or are they divorced? Never mind. I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know where it's going now. How many years has it been since? 9? 10? I can still remember it vividly. Two men primly dressed I can still remember it vividly. 2 men, primly dressed, briefcases in hand, and a stern look on each of their faces. They were already frequent visitors to the bakery for a few months, something about the lot being a prime property in downtown Luxbourne. I think they were hoping to settle a deal with them, but neither of the couple gave in to their demands. Why should they? Their quaint little shop was a dream for them. Aunt Liz sent me home early that night after a fruitless wait for the professor. The next morning, news of a bakery razed to the ground had spread across the whole city, 1 casualty. Oh, there we go, so she is dead, yes. A few weeks later, the property was sold to Wright Enterprise. A fucking hotel now stands in its place. Of course, an investigation was launched after the incident. The name Luke Wright was briefly at the center of it, but with the lack of evidence, the case ultimately went cold. The professor hides it well, however I can tell that he hates the man to this day. He might even blame Luke Wright for every tragedy that happens in the city. He has never blamed me though, when I'm as equally responsible. I knew something's off the moment those men stepped inside the shop. I could have saved her that night. I could have prevented anything from happening to her, called for help or whatever. I didn't. So it continues to eat at me until today, the guilt. The Luxbourne firm case would have been our chance at reopening that old case if it would prove Luke Wright of his crimes. Instead, we're back to square one. Yet all he has for me are words of comfort. To think he can still be this concerned about me after my carelessness, after I've broken another promise a second time. People never cease to amaze me.
You might think that you have failed as an officer. Or maybe you think that you have failed me. And you know more than anyone. I would love to see that man taken down. If anyone deserves to be tried in high court, it's him.
Yes. Apparently.
But I'm glad nothing's happened to you while you were working on this. That's what's most important. I'd hate to get news like that again.
Aw, you're so caring. Suddenly he stops. I imagine a thoughtful look flashing in his eyes as he thumbs the wedding band on his ring finger before he continues. Another habit. He has never removed it since that day, has never thought once to remarry, even when he managed to continue with his life and return to some semblance of normalcy. It's his way of honoring her, I suppose, when he couldn't bring to justice the man responsible for his loss. Some people are just hard to forget.
It's not like another death. Yours or even his will bring back my wife.
Yeah. Silence falls between us afterwards. I don't quite know what to say after that, really. Should I apologize? Show some sympathy? Going into this, I should have thought of something other than just breaking the news to him. As it is, it seems the only thing we can do is feel sorry for each other's misfortunes.
I apologize, too, for putting you up to this.
No, it's fine. In another occasion, under different circumstances, I might have accepted that, but...
You didn't have to, but you've already done more than any officer who has investigated this. So don't worry about this, old man.
Aww.
I know your department's people all have their hands full recently, too. What with the upsetting news we've been getting as of late. Deaths almost every day.
Right.
I'm not entirely sure if that has anything to do with the other. It seems too big even for someone like him. But if this is that man's doing...
Professor, please. Maybe if things around me hadn't started going beyond my control, the letter, the mansion, the supposed curse behind those, I'd still be quick to blame it on all those... I'd still be quick to blame it all on the bastard too. But as much as I want to keep holding him responsible for it, to add another to his list of sins, it might not be the case, yes. Agreeing will only cut a deeper wound on the professor. I don't want him to keep clinging to this resentment for much longer. He has already gone through so many years of it. Right. This kind of anger, it's a sort that blinds people. Despite his reassurances, the bitterness still seeps into every syllable he utters. Right. Like, he really hates the man. It's the one thing for me to act like this. It's painful to watch someone I've considered a second father to go down this path. Please don't apologize. It's really alright. I can try to get it back on Monday. Yeah, I can try to get it back on Monday when I meet with the chief. No promises, but if not, I'll make sure to keep an ear out for any news. Chief said he's passing it on to a senior officer. I should be able to catch a few tidbits every once in a while. But I swear I won't just give up on this. I'll do everything in my power to get Aunt Liz's case reopened for you. Promises, again, a bad habit at this point. I wish I could do more for him. All this time, I prided myself over being the one to always know. Because suddenly, aside from the Wright and the murders plaguing the city, I have ghosts and curses to worry about, things that are completely out my depth. Yeah. Professor Clark's right in some way. Things would be so much easier if we just blamed Luke Wright for all of this. Yeah. At least finding evidence would be a breeze, and I'd be all too happy to put him in a place he belongs. Although if he was in any way also complicit to what's happening, legalities have my hands tied. Legalities? Yeah, whatever. Can't. Yeah, legal things. But maybe that's my fault. I might have missed a ticket to closing the case once and for all last night. If only I had done a better job during the party. But then the commotion. There was Hannah, Wright, and Rebecca distracting me from my purpose too. I'd include that gate crasher as well, even though it's only for a moment. So many things have gone wrong last night that... Yeah, it's...
This isn't a prank! I saw something!
Yes! See, they're just creeping up on the screen.
See? This is why I didn't want to tell you guys!
Yes.
It's not a joke! Will you guys listen to me first?
Yes.
I saw something in the house earlier. It stood right in front of me.
Uh-huh.
If I hadn't gotten away, that thing might have...
Yes. Last night, at the party.
But it's real! What do you think I saw? It happened after, when I was trying to get away. I almost got stuck in the same room with that thing.
Yes.
We're all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me?
But now I do, girl. I'm starting to. That woman.
Why don't we all calm down first? I'm sure Isabella has her reasons too. No need to be hard on her.
Yes. Shit. If that was what Isabella had been warning us about, if it was the same thing Rebecca talked about last night. How many of these instances have I dismissed since reading the letter? How many have I ignored and passed off as some effect of fatigue or lack of sleep? Even last night, a hallucinogen lacing the food is the first thing I considered, purely because that's what my training dictates. It's a mindset I've grown used to. It's the setting the gears in my head automatically takes in a situation like that. Yes, of course, I'm not discounting all that yet until I have enough information, something to form a conclusion. Proof in whatever form it may come in. Proof in whatever form it may come, yeah. But thinking straight is impossible when, all of a sudden, all your beliefs are being upturned, in the most violent way possible at that. Jesus, I need a sounding board. I need to talk to someone, and Zach's the best person for that. I have to go, Professor.
Oh, no problem. But what are you...
Ghosts. I don't have time to stop and listen to what the professor has to say. I cut the call short. Alright, in the same second, Isabella emerges from her apartment, fully dressed and ready for the day. Yes. You become a believer, Ashton. You must. Okay, here we go. So while waiting for Isabella, Ashton called Professor Andrew Clark to inform him of his dismissal from the Luxborn firm case. While Andrew assured him that it was fine, the detective promised to keep an eye on the case. However, a realization cut the conversation short. Yes. Ghosts, ladies! Yes. Okay, so as usual, she greets me with a smile, but it falls as fast once she catches a glimpse of my face. Yeah. Shame, that would have been the first comforting thing I see today. It annoys me that I'm partially responsible for the worried one replacing it. I must look close to a picture of someone choking or dying, because there's nothing but concern in the first words she speaks.
Ash, do you need to go to the bathroom?
No. Yeah, no, I don't, okay? But we should hurry. Come on, don't forget to lock your door.
Seriously, you look like you're about to fall over.
Yeah, because I realized something. Realization.
Are you alright? Because if you're planning to faint right here, I won't be able to carry you.
Yes. Yes, don't mind me. I just remembered some stuff from last night. I need to talk to Z-Man about this. Mind if we drop by his place first?
Yeah. Shouldn't we call him? To let him know? It's still pretty early. Though we'd probably arrive there around noon.
Yes.
Also, what do you mean about this? Is Zach...
Yes, he is. He was also there when I opened the letter, right? He read it too. I'm sure he's fine, but it wouldn't hurt to check on him, to make sure. See if he'll say the same things you told me yesterday. If he's also if he's also been seeing things, if it's also the same woman I saw last night. It is. She was in his apartment. If the timeline is like where I think it's at. I'm not saying this really occurs yet, but we have to look at this from every possible angle. And don't worry, he won't mind. He's probably just watching TV right now. Let's go.
Okay, but speak up if you're not feeling well. You really look like you're choking on something.
I'm choking on my own words and, beliefs.
You didn't have to do this for me in the first place.
No, but I want to. Now that I'm involved, it's not as simple as that. We head down to my car in record time with not a single second wasted to hit the road and drive to Zach's place. If any one of us, other than Isabella, who knows anything about what's going on, who can help sort the muddled mess my mind is, it's gotta be him. Yeah, he listened to her. Yes. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna see where I am for time. I feel like October 29th is really going on for a while, even though I think the 28th was a really short episode, short day, because we just basically dealt with the housewarming on Ashton's end. So yeah, I'm gonna see. It's going on for a bit more. I'm at the 20 mark, so I want to go for around the 30-ish mark. Okay, so Zach's the kind who prefers to laze around his apartment on a weekend, especially after having a busy week like the last one. The big guy's nowhere in sight though when I arrive in his unit. Figures, people don't seem to be where they should be when I need them. Looking around, I find no sign where he might have gone to. He usually leaves a note on his fridge if he's out for the day, just in case someone drops by. Oh, maybe it was after he came back shopping with... No, that was before the housewarming. Where is he? Yeah, but there was a time where he came back to the apartment and he was... No. He was out in the park, I think. Yeah, he was out in the park. He was talking to Kylie, saw her possessed for herself, and then came back to the apartment, right? And then that's where he found these two. So yeah, I think that's where it is. And as there isn't one, he probably just went out for a quick walk. Yeah, I hope. Maybe he ran out of eggs or something and went out to buy some? I don't know. He is out of eggs after all. Thanks for checking his fridge. Yeah, it puts my running mind to rest for a while. He always has to have some, be it for an omelet or something he's baking.
Ash, should you be rummaging around?
I know, right, Ash? You're so nosy.
It's bad enough we went in here without asking for his permission.
Right. Chill, I'm just looking. In his fridge? Actually, I could also go for a fucking pie right now, but Zach's fridge is next to empty, save for a few leftovers. All I can do is sigh as I close it behind me. If you see me taking anything, feel free to call the police. Isabella's quick to shoot me a sharp glare, and another chuckle slips from me, despite the unease in my stomach. But the cheer only lasts a mere few seconds, mostly because she hasn't been in the mood for any sort of friendly banter. It's the silence that's telling, and a quiet Isabella. It's usually the first recipe for an incoming shitstorm.
Do you always do this whenever you visit another person's house? Because I have a lot of questions about your methods.
I know. Well, only Zach. I only do this for Zach. Just with Zach, yeah. I'm still worried for our friend, of course, and despite what's bothering Isabella, she's anxious too. She's been standing by the doorway for a few good minutes now, since we entered Zach's place, in fact. Doesn't seem to know what to do with herself. But much as I want to put her at ease, her nervous tics are starting to get to me. The manner in which she makes herself smaller, the way she fidgets with her hands, clasping them one moment and unfurling in the next. It's distracting enough that I want to ask what's wrong. I doubt she'll give me a straight answer though, and the best I could do is help her temper it. You don't have to hang around the door, we might be here for a while, you can sit down, yeah. She hesitates for a second, but eventually takes the empty seat by Zach's study table.
Aren't we going to look for him?
I'm sure he'll come back, hopefully. Sure we can, but where are we going to start? I can think of a few places he might be, but Luxborn's a big city. I don't want to miss the big guy if we leave, and... I trail off, making a vague gesture in the general direction of Zach's bed. The messy bed suggests he was out in a hurry, and he didn't even bother to fold the sheets. His cell phone's been left behind as well, another odd thing when he has made it a habit to never leave it behind in case a client calls. Damn, yeah, okay. At least the locked door points to the fact that it wasn't a forced exit. That seems to reassure her, but not so much. Understandable, anything might happen. In hindsight, we shouldn't have left Rebecca alone too. In hindsight, I shouldn't have left Rebecca alone too, we'll have to check on her later. Well, that was a weird sentence. In the meantime, Zach, but with no other clue where he is and no other way to contact him, we have no choice but to wait. Sure, I could give the room another thorough run-through, but I don't think Zach would appreciate me upending his place. Isabella won't let me do that either. Besides, I haven't eaten anything yet. Isabella probably hasn't too. We did leave in a hurry. Might as well take this chance to cool down a bit, right? But anything to distract myself so that I don't just charge headfirst because of whatever paranoid scheme that comes to mind. Isabella's with me. I can't be reckless. Isabella with me. Yeah, I can't be reckless. Yay! They like have no qualms of just putting their like the company's like logo and like name and everything. But it's clever. It's cute. Returning to the kitchen, the first thing I see is a bag of chips when I rifle through his cupboards. Yeah. After muttering a permission and an apology its owner won't hear, I grab it. Isabella doesn't miss shooting me another glare, but she doesn't really make an effort to stop me this time. She ignores my offer of food though. So instead, I set myself on Zach's old couch and turn on the television. Isabella's silence may not be too heavy, but it sure as hell is awkward. The screen lights up right as some awful noontime drama starts airing on Channel 9. Okay. Nothing like sitting in front of the TV with a mindless drone running in the background to waste away the time. And waste it away we do. Yes. The afternoon has hit its last few hours when movement comes from the other side of the door and Zach's heavy treads breaks the monotonous drivel from the TV. The lock clicks, the knob turns, and slowly it swings open to reveal Zach. Yes, a very exhausted looking Zach. What? Did he run a marathon? Sup, Z-Man? Yeah.
Hey, Zach. Sorry we just barged in here. Ash was...
Yeah. Relax, Z-Man. Relax. Z-Man gave me a copy of the key himself. Light as my tone might be, his arrival eases the restless edge in me. Who knows what I would have done if something bad happened to one of my friends. If another minute had gone by without him showing up, I might have resorted to unconventional methods.
Only after you broke the 13th one? I can't keep replacing them every time you think it'd be a good idea to break into my apartment.
Yes.
And stop calling me Z-Man!
I didn't break anything this time.
Ash, just because I gave you a key doesn't mean you can just stroll in here whenever you want to. And hey, is that my...
Yeah, it's my your chips. It's scary how the friendly banter and easy smile come naturally. I do it even without thinking, and that speaks volume about how comfortable I am around him. That's nice, isn't it? Yeah, I guess. What makes me afraid of it, however, is the idea that a time might come where I might just do these without even meaning to and offend him in some way. The friendship we have might be closer than most I've shared with others, but there are boundaries you can't cross without the other's permission. Yes, like breaking and entering into their house without them there. Zach's been respectful of that so far, neither asking about my parents or what happened to them. Me? Yeah, I'd bet he'd say not so much. It's also this easy banter that makes me wish we could just stay like this. No worries, no problems, just potato chips and the debate on whether or not I deserve them. But as usual, something always cut moments like this short.
Of course he eats all of it. You know, I was saving that for the weekend.
Yes.
Did you at least share some with Bella?
She says she doesn't want any.
Don't worry about it. I'm good,
yeah.
Zach.
Yeah.
Really? It's free food, you know?
I know.
What was that you usually say? You don't say no to free food?
Yes.
What happened?
Well, stuff's happened.
No, I'm just not hungry.
Yeah. Although her tone forces him to do a double take, Zach doesn't push it. The question's all too clear in his eyes when he glances my way, though. I really wish I could answer him. Despite my best efforts, Isabella's been unforthcoming as well. What am I supposed to do? I can't just force her to speak, can I? She's not a criminal to be interrogated. She's a friend, for Pete's sake. Yeah, it's a good thing Zach has a better handle of the situation than I, and soon enough he changes the subject. Where it leads to isn't necessarily the better topic, however.
Aye.
Yeah.
But if you want something, just say so.
Yeah.
I've got a fully restocked pantry right here at your disposal. Still not a 5-star level thing, but for an empty stomach, it'd do.
Yes.
Just say the word.
Thanks, Zach. Maybe next time. Food is not really what we came here for.
Yeah, no.
Ash, he's the one who...
Yeah. She stumbles into one of her uncertain silences before glancing my way. There's a plea in there for me to take the lead in this, but where do we start? The mansion? The strange things we've been seeing. The letter. Even I am afraid of what he might say. I can't believe I'm considering taking a deeper look into this whole thing in the first place, but here I am.
Please don't tell me something happened again.
Oh, no, not really. No, nothing. None so far. And we're keeping it that way as much as possible.
Ash, it's not that easy. This isn't some...
Yeah. We don't know that. Let me... sometimes I amaze myself how much I try for her. But what else can I offer her? I was the first one who brushed her off, yeah. We've all been given our warnings that day, in that desperate, pleading tone of hers, and I just stood there judging her. This is the least I can do, perhaps even to make up for all those other times I've hurt her. Let me look at this first, okay? I agreed to help, but you've got to let me handle things from now on.
I already told you everything.
Yes. There must be something we're not seeing in this just yet. We'll sort this out, but no more silly ideas and running around on your own. You're making people worry more than necessary, Becca especially.
So everything's fine?
Not really. Depends on who you're asking. How are things with you? Anything odd?
Good, I guess.
Are you sure? No.
Admittedly, how things went down at the housewarming party last night threw me off a bit.
Yeah. I'm not asking about that. Remember the letter thing Isabella's been yapping on about? I'm asking about that kind of odd. Yes, as expected, Zach starts to look at me like I've grown a second head. Yeah, I would too, but if there was ever a universe where I was standing in front of myself. Because even as a child, I never believed in ghost stories. The lucky charms and mystical objects from my mother have often been stored away or given as paltry gifts to those who would appreciate them more.
Well, the dreams, they're a lot worse than usual.
There's a woman now.
There's a woman now. Ever since we saw that letter.
Yes.
I don't know if it's the same one Isabella talked about. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't.
It is, though.
I really don't want to go back to sleep sometimes.
Yeah.
Last night was the worst.
Yeah, because she done grabbed me.
Anyway, why are you asking about this?
Because I've been seeing shit. Everyone has.
Rose's death isn't just a coincidence, Zach.
Yes.
It may have something to do with... I may have...
Now.
Wait. Stop right there for a sec, Bella.
Yeah.
I thought you ain't buying this stuff, Ash. Just the other day, you said the exact same thing.
I know, but I saw her too at the party. Granted, I haven't eliminated every single possibility here yet, but what else is there to go off on from here? The worried look Zach shoots my way doesn't help one bit in helping me gather my thoughts either, when that's what I came here for. Somehow everyone's suddenly just so worried about me. It's not like I'm pulling this out of my ass. I still don't, but even Rebecca, out of all people, claims there's something, right? Whatever this is, someone has got to look into it. Everything about this screams shady. And along with Isabella's warnings, what's occurring around Zach, what's happening around Luxborn since Isabella found the letter. Have you two seen the news this morning? Zach's puzzled expression is enough answer. Of course he hasn't. Another night, another nightmare. The guy most likely went out as soon as he got out of bed to shake the images off. Yeah. The memories have never really left him. Isabella, though.
I haven't, actually.
Yeah.
Mama called, and I was busy.
Yes. That could easily mean anything. Did her Kuya, her older brother, end up in jail again? Oh shit, that's really? Oh man. She's had to bail him out numerous times in the past, though all that did was piss her off and not sap out every ounce of cheer in her. Or is it that the other brother, the younger one who keeps insisting that he'll quit school so she'll come home? That was 2 years ago, as far as I know. She already sorted that one out. It couldn't have been her father, right? With the mansion sale, she has earned enough to cover every bill for a while. It should. So, what is it then? No problem. It should be in the afternoon news as well. Yes, the murder. Whatever's bugging her, I doubt it's something meant for casual discussion, else she would have mentioned it sooner. Tucking my curiosity for later, I take the remote and begin cycling through the channels. A distraction, not a good one I admit, but it's definitely better than leaving her to brood. Eventually I find one doing a recap of this morning's reports. And there it is. Yep, there it is. The poor guy is unidentifiable with how badly his body's been burnt. Murder via arson? Murder via arson. That's the logical explanation if I was the officer looking into it. Except they couldn't find the source of the fire didn't even spread.
Found dead in the early hours of the morning today.
Oh my god, because it relates to how she was killed too. She was burned at the stake. Oh my god.
The fire was contained within the room and no other tenants were harmed, according to Luxborn police.
Yes. They're going to consider spontaneous human combustion soon enough if they don't find anything else. But what's important for everyone to know is the state of the room.
A similar writing was found in another victim's room from last week's incident.
Yes, help me!
Both were employees of Briar Realty Corporation. LBN has reached out to the...
Yeah, like what happened to Cooper. Yes, hell, I wonder how many other deaths like this that I've missed while I've been looking into Wright. The LPD is already thinking it's a serial killer at this point, right? How long until they consult with the London Metropolitan, I'm not sure. The Anselm Butcher has always been an enigma even to the people within the city. Gone for a few years, then in the next, one body after another is found. Merely handling the case has apparently driven the chief inspector insane years ago. He never did find out who committed those murders. Oh yeah, I figured. Maybe now, this time.
This is because of that thing, isn't it? I did this somehow.
No. Her words all come out in a whisper, but each syllable lingers in the air, heavy with her guilt. In the thick tension of the room, they strike harsher than any of the things we've said. However, she also has to know that she isn't the only one on this. Yeah. No one has asked her to take this upon herself. Rebecca won't. Zach won't. I sure as hell won't. Yeah.
It ain't too late. We could still fix this. There's 3 of us here.
Yes.
4 if you count Rebecca.
Yes, but...
No. She's staying away from this.
Well, too late. She's already been attacked.
I don't want to involve her in this any more than I already have. Both of you as well.
Yes. I already said it. That's completely out of the question. Stop asking. Encouragements aside, this is still a whole fucking mess, and we're in it blind. The only way to make it worse is if we start running around like a bunch of headless chickens. But I have a concrete plan now. I think. Maybe Isabella's right. Maybe we should dig deeper into BRC itself. Maybe we are looking at it the wrong way. However, my suspicions are mine for the moment. The details are something Zach doesn't need to know until I have something to show. It's enough that he's aware that I have It's enough that he's aware that I have an idea in mind. For his part, Z-Man doesn't push it, and nothing but a heavy silence leads our departure hours later. Seriously, Zach would probably make a more responsible officer than me if he only had the heart to join the force. Anyways, I think we're good for that. I think, yeah, we did the whole Zach thing where we had that conversation and we saw it in Zach's point of view, so we got that out of the way. And so now we're heading off into the plan that supposedly Ashton has kind of made, sort of ish, worked out. Anyway, so I'm gonna leave it here, you guys. Oh damn, so here we go. We got a little bit of some of our answers in terms of what we're curious about Ashton's point of view. So he has seen the lady. It's just that it's only now that he's like kind of taking it seriously, and that he's sort of coming around to not being such a skeptic about it. So yeah, oh my god, I wonder what more could happen in terms of like his point of view, because we all know how, you know, it usually escalates when the ghost lady starts showing up more prevalently, and how maybe we can get in on, you know, the endings that we've left off on in terms of Zach and in terms of like Rebecca's ending, because it all left off on Ashton basically saying, hey, we need to like meet up and we need to talk about this like ASAP. So yeah, maybe hopefully we'll get to that in his point of view. But until then, you guys, I'll see you in the next episode. So bye.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will